Jake Shepherd, you're the Labour candidate, or more accurate, Labour and Cooperative Party candidate, standing for the ward of Staple Tye. So firstly, why are you standing?
Really great question. This is a nice way of giving my thanks to John Strachan, who was a Labour councillor in Staple Tye since 2015. So John isn't seeking re-election this time round, and so I'm standing to take the mantle, if you will, and carry his work on in representing the people of Staple Tye.
And Staple Tye, it's a busy ward, isn't it?
It's a busy ward, and it is an important ward. We had the census last year, which unfortunately revealed yet again that there are some deep-rooted challenges in Staple Tye around deprivation, child poverty, poor health outcomes and housing. So this is a ward that really requires a dedicated, passionate councillor to get stuck in and be here for the long haul.
So you knock on a door and somebody talks about the cost of living crisis, and they talk about they've lost their job, or they're struggling in their job, they're going to the food bank. What's your answer? What's your response?
I think it's really important, and one of Labour's pledges this local election is transparency and accountability. We want to be open with residents. We don't have all the answers, but what we do have is a plan to start finding the answers. That includes working with Harlow Poverty Alliance, the Michael Roberts Charitable Trust, all the key stakeholders in the town who are brought together, obviously by themselves, but they're, councillors are a catalyst for change, and when councillors can bring these bodies together and signpost support for residents, it can be really powerful. I want to be the people of Staple Tye's first port of call, or a person they can turn to for help and support and know where to go.
But it is a ward of contrast, isn't it? No matter where we're standing here, just off Commonside Road, or you go to the changing landscape, like the Atelier houses and developments. So you have to speak or represent a lot of different people, don't you?
Absolutely, and there's positives to sing about Staple Tye. It's not a doom and gloom ward. There's the regeneration of Staple Tye Shopping Centre, which is going to be a big piece of a work for Staple Tye, and that's actually really positive. That's going to bring jobs, that's going to bring new retail outlets, new community resources for residents, and what is more important now than ever is to have a councillor who understands the planning process. I was a member of the TCPA's Policy Council who understands the role of the local planning authority in guiding regeneration, and that's what my priorities are going to be: shepherding the regeneration of Staple Tye, supporting residents with the cost of living crisis, and offering transparency and accountability when it comes to what Labour is offering this election.
And this is an area we're slightly drifting off from what your Harlow will be 10 years old in July, and when we started 10 years ago, our mantra is, and still is, 1847, 1947, 2047. The fields, the new town, the future. And you're interested in things like the town, TCPA. Harlow makes sure whatever developments are coming here, etc., from Latin Priory to Gilston to Gilden Park, etc., there needs to be the community at its heart. Would you agree?
Absolutely, and this is what Harlow's always thrived at. Our motto is in common endeavour. We've always been a town that puts people first, whether that's resettling London's post-Blitz population to offering, sustainable, climate resilient housing for the 21st century. Harlow will continue to put people first, but it just takes good, local, dedicated councillors to make that happen.
You're full-time, you work in education, you've come over here, finished your job after work, bus, cycle. There's a lot of commitments here, Jake.
Absolutely.
You're up to it? I'm
definitely up to it, and actually one of the things I'll be reprioritising or shifting is, if I'm elected, I'll be stepping aside from the Policy Council at the TCPA and putting my all into this ward. And actually, I think the role of a councillor is enriched through those community connections, those kind of being out and about, being visible, being plugged into what's going on in the town. So that wouldn't change, but what would certainly change is my my full-time focus on Staple Tye.